What's up, guys? S2H back in action once again with Trade or No Trade Part 2, back by popular demand. I asked Habs fans on Twitter, I said, calling all Habs fans, Trade or No Trade is returning for a four-part series. What is one trade that you want to see the Montreal Canadiens make this offseason? Comments may get featured in my video, and I will give a yes or no answer with an explanation to why I said yes or no to your trade proposals. Up first, we have Jeff Head. He says Jeff Carter for a third-round pick and a low-level prospect. So coming to the Montreal Canadiens would be Jeff Carter, and the Montreal Canadiens would have to pay a third-round pick and a lower-level prospect. Maybe a Noah Jolson or somebody like that. At one point in his career, Jolson wasn't a lower-level prospect, but now with the injuries and what he's done recently, I guess the Habs would have to consider him one of their more expendable lower-level prospects. So at first when I seen this trade, my first instinct was to say yes because I like Jeff Carter. He's a great veteran to play with. He's won a Stanley Cup before. He's been a top dog in the league before. And in a depth role, a mentor role in Montreal, I think he would be a great fit, who brings size and experience and can still contribute 25 to 30 points, maybe even more than that on a good year. But I'll regretfully have to say no to that trade because he's 35 years old, he's a center, the Habs don't need center, and most of all, he has a $5.5 million cap hit. It's way too much to pay for a depth player at this point in Jeff Carter's career, maybe earlier in his career, but not right now. Up next from Paul B, he says, Domi, Mete, and a second rounder to Winnipeg for Nikolai Ehlers. Now, Nikolai Ehlers, in my opinion, is an upgrade to Max Domi, and the Habs don't exactly need their picks, and they don't exactly need Victor Mete, especially with signing Edmondson recently and had Ben Sherratt in the number one position and Romanov coming into the lineup. So to this one, I'm going to have to say yes. I'm not sure Max Domi is going to re-sign with Montreal anyways, and personally, I would consider Nikolai Ehlers an upgrade on Max Domi, a guy who's going to want to play the wing. Domi's kind of lost where he wants to be. The Habs want him to be a center. He wants to be a center, but when you look at the lineup, Montreal has Philip Deneau, Nick Suzuki, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. They have depth centers. Where is Max Domi going to slot into that lineup? He doesn't want to be a fourth-line center, so to this trade, I'm going to have to say yes. A big part of it is for that reason because I do like Max Domi. Up next from Joe I, he says Josh Anderson for Thomas Tatar. To this one, I'm going to have to say no. Anderson is a good young player who brings size and grit and did a lot in 2018-19 for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but unlike Thomas Tatar, he's coming off a career-worst season in the NHL. He has injury issues and still has to be signed. Thomas Tatar is already signed. He was Montreal's leading scorer this year. He was the only player on the team to put up over 60 points. He's a leader for the Habs. If Montreal were to trade Thomas Tatar, I would like to see him bring in more of a true goal scorer, a guy who's going to help on the power play, a guy who's going to be a stud for the Habs, and a guy that's going to play on the first line. And unfortunately for Josh Anderson, I don't think he is that guy. If it was 2018, 2019 after what he did in that season, yes, I probably would have said it. But after this year, Anderson really regressed. He had a rough year. I don't think he's worth Thomas. I don't think he's worth Thomas Tatar by any means. Up next from the Riddler20 on YouTube, he commented in my YouTube, he said, Domi and Ryan P. and Lindgren for Patrick Laine. For me, this is an absolute no-brainer. It's 100% yes. Montreal desperately needs a player like Patrick Laine to add more goals to their top six and strengthen their power play. I feel the Habs would have to add a pick to that, like a first-round pick or a second-round pick to get that deal done. But it would be a trade I could see benefiting both teams. The Jets need center, Habs need scoring, and Domi and Poehling could be a really good fit in Winnipeg. But like I said, I think they are going to want more than just Domi. I think they're going to want a first-round pick with that as well, because Domi could be a good top six center for them, a number two, a number one center, but the Winnipeg Jets are going to want more than just Max Domi and Ryan Poehling, who there still are a lot of questions around. Up next from Pierre Pellerin, sorry if I butchered that name, he says Price, Domi, Mete to Edmonton for Draisaitl and Larson. Now, that right there would be an absolute blockbuster, and as much as I love Carey Price and Max Domi, I would definitely have to say yes to this trade. Bringing in a goal scorer who can bank 110 points, 50 goals, instantly help your power play, and be the first bona fide top three forward in the league that plays for Montreal since the Guy Lafleur era, along with a solid defenseman in Adam Larson. This trade, in my opinion, would take Montreal over the top, would make them a contender. Yes, they would have to figure out their goaltending tandem, but I think Jake Allen, with that kind of defense in front of him, that kind of team in front of him, could even be a number one goalie for the Montreal Canadiens. Up next, we have another one from Jeff Head on Twitter. He says, Deneau, Kulak, Joel Teasdale, and his 2 first-round picks for Jonathan Huberdeau. To this trade, I'll absolutely have to say yes. Huberdeau would be a great fit in Montreal. His size, speed, high-octane offense, along with being a hometown boy from Quebec, who would for sure be a fan favorite and proud to play for the Montreal Canadiens, makes him a perfect piece for the Habs to go out and acquire this offseason. It strengthens their wings. It leaves rooms for Suzuki and Kakanyemi to slot up in the center positions, and Montreal can afford to pay 2 first-round picks. They already have a stacked prospect pool, a top 10 prospect pool in the league, and now is the time for them to trade some picks and pieces for a true star up front like Jonathan Huberdeau. I know my friend Fulton Cards, he's another big YouTube channel, that's what he wants for sure. I don't know if he definitely wants Huberdeau, but he wants a true star in Montreal, and I have to say I 100% agree with him. And up next, a big supporter of the channel, shout out to you, Hugh. Hugh says, here it is, Scotty. Domi and Kulak to Winnipeg for Ehlers. Montreal flips their first-round pick for Winnipeg's first-round pick. Winnipeg gets the 16th pick, and Montreal would get... Winnipeg would get the 16th pick, and Montreal would get the 10th pick. And he also adds that Ehlers and Drouin played together in junior, and they both were 100-point players. This was a hard video to get through, but we're on the last trade, and to this one, I'm definitely going to have to say yes. I feel Ehlers, like I said earlier, is a slight upgrade with more future potential than Max Domi. I love Domi, don't get me wrong, but the guy wants to be a center, and I just don't see how he's going to be a center in the future in Montreal. Now that he's at the position he's at, with the centers that the Montreal Canadiens have, I just don't see it working out for Domi in the future. I do not think they're going to re-sign him, and to get a guy like Nikolai Ehlers for him would be an absolute upgrade to the team. And as far as Brett Kulak goes, I definitely think the Habs can afford to let go of Brett Kulak. I like Brett Kulak. I like what he's done in Montreal, but you look at their top 4 now, they have Petrie, Weber, Edmondson, Sherratt, whoever they're going to slot in the depth roles. I do feel that Brett Kulak is expendable, and I would definitely have to say yes to this trade. Nikolai Ehlers or Patrick Laine, either one of those guys from Winnipeg would be a great fit for the Montreal Canadiens, would help their power play, would help their scoring, and would play in their top 6. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for all the trades. Stay tuned for part 3. Hopefully we get some more awesome trades, which I can give my yes or no to. Stay safe and take care wherever you're to. This is S2H, Scotty2Hockey. Have a great day, folks. Over and out.